Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called Aggie and the Ghost by Matthew Forsythe. Aggie is thrilled to get to have her own place. She's moving into a house that is just hers. She has all the rules ready to go, and everything's going to go exactly the way that she wants until she finds that her house is actually haunted, and the ghost has no intention of following Aggie's rules. This, of course, causes a great deal of conflict between the two characters, and things do not go well for either one of them. But as the story progresses, Aggie begins to wonder if being alone isn't exactly what she had in mind, and if maybe there's a way to balance the two characters' needs in a way that benefits them both. This picture book is well suited to a preschool-aged audience because of the amount of text in the book. There's not a huge amount of writing. And because of that, young readers are going to have a sense of accomplishment as they're moving through the story. They'll be able to keep the plot in their head as they're going through the book, and they'll appreciate the fact that there's a fair amount of white space on each page. For grown-ups reading this book, there's kind of a twofold benefit. First, that they are going to be able to share the story easily with young readers, especially if it's in a read-aloud setting in a classroom, or if it's in a home setting as well. You've got a lot of opportunity to discuss the pictures, to examine what's going on in the story, and also Aggie's experiences may be a little bit more aligned with a grown-up's experience, who may have also felt similarly at one point, excited to live on their own and finding that perhaps a roommate or another resident of their home was not exactly what they had in mind. So finding a balance that would serve both of them is something that Aggie goes through in this story and that older readers might connect with. The illustrations have a lot of muted tones, and as you can see, there are also a lot of them that have a fair amount of detail that readers can investigate, and then there's also some that have fewer amounts of detail. So you have a blend of pages that you want to spend a little bit more time on, others that maybe go a little bit more quickly, but all of it together really emphasizes all of the soft and internal feelings that are happening for Aggie and her ghost friend. So the story itself is enjoyable, it's funny, it gets kids thinking about how friendship can work, especially if you're residing together, so maybe even sibling relationships, and how things may begin one way but may end in an entirely different way that could be unexpectedly joyful. So this does feature a ghost character, but there's definitely not a lot of haunting feelings in the book. You've got more of the interpersonal and social emotional relationships between the two characters than it is more of a ghost haunting sort of situation. So the story is great to read aloud to a group of kids, to read in a home setting, to investigate closely, and to appreciate all of the beauty that comes with each of the illustrations. So whether readers are grown-ups reflecting on their own life experience or kids that are considering how they might react in similar situations, this book has a lot of social emotional components embedded within a story that is enjoyable and amusing as well. If this sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it wherever you get your books.